Who said it's over? The referee hasn't blown the whistle. The most dangerous lie you will hear today is, now only next year. Today, December 1st, most people turn off their engines. They go into standby mode, anesthetized by Christmas lights and the feeling that time has run out. But you are not the majority. At this exact moment, the moon leaves the final waters of Pisces and enters the initial fire of Aries. The sky is not asking for rest. The sky is screaming, action. This is not the end. It is the starting gun for the most important race of 2025. Welcome to the compression rule. The physics of time changes in the final stretch. When you apply total focus and maximum intensity, one day in December is worth a week in March. You have 31 days of pure gold in your hand. If you know how to use this window, you can do in 1 month what you didn't do in 11. We are not here to take a nostalgic inventory of what went wrong. We are here to turn the game around at the 45th minute of the second half. In this video, I will teach you the 31-day protocol to break out of inertia, ignore the distraction of the holidays, and cross the finish line like a winner, not like a quitter. The year isn't over. It has shrunk. And now, every second counts. For the compression rule to work, for you to manage to do 11 months in 31 days, you first need to get rid of the dead weight you are carrying in your backpack. I am talking about the January resolution list. You know what I'm talking about. That note on your phone, that page in your journal, or that mental promise you made at the turn of last year. I will lose weight, I will learn English, I will double my income, I will read 20 books. Look at that list now. What is it today? It is no longer a map, it is a graveyard. It is a debt document. Every time you look at these unfulfilled items, your subconscious registers a defeat. You feel guilt. You feel that you owe something to the year. And that feeling of debt is the heaviest anchor that exists. You cannot run a final sprint dragging a safe full of broken promises. Today, December 1st, the moon in Aries gives you a command order. Tear up the list. I am not using a metaphor. If it is on paper, burn it. If it is on your phone, delete it. You need to declare a radical amnesty. The person who made that list in January no longer exists. The world has changed. You have changed. Trying to fulfill a promise made by an old version of yourself is a form of insanity. The secret of great finishers, of those who turn the game around in the last minute, is that they do not try to catch up. Catching up is a loser's strategy. It is looking back. The winner looks at the stopwatch, sees that he has 31 days, and asks, what is the single victory that changes the story of this year? We call this the December trophy. The human mind has an interesting cognitive bias. We judge the quality of an experience based almost entirely on how it ends. If you had a mediocre year, full of failures, of near wins, and confusion, but you cross the finish line in December with a gold trophy in your hand, your memory will register 2025 as a year of victory. On the other hand, if you had a good year, but finished December dragging yourself, depressed and full of pending issues, you will remember 2025 as a heavy year. The ending defines the narrative. So stop trying to save the 10 items from the January list. Choose one, or choose something entirely new, something that has emerged now. What is the thing that, if it happens by December 31st, will make you look back and say, I won? It might be closing that specific contract. It might be forgiving that person and cleansing your heart for Christmas. It might be launching your project, even if imperfect. It might be establishing a routine of 30 uninterrupted days of training, proving to yourself that you have discipline. just one thing. The energy of Aries is the energy of the spearhead. It concentrates all force on a single point of impact to break through the armor. If the spear has 10 points, it pierces nothing. If it has one, it goes through steel. By tearing up the old list, you free up a massive amount of mental RAM. That background voice that kept saying, "You should be doing that," goes silent. Silence creates focus. You will feel an initial fear. The ego will scream, "But what about the other things? Am I going to give up on them?" Yes, you will. For now, yes. You will sacrifice the good to ensure the great. You will sacrifice the mediocrity of trying to do everything to have the glory of doing one extraordinary thing. This is war strategy. No general attacks all fronts at the same time when he has little time and few resources. He concentrates the troops. He breaks the enemy line at a decisive point. December is your decisive point. Do not enter this month with the posture of someone who is in debt. Enter with the posture of someone who is hunting. The list is dead. The guilt is dead. What exists now is a clean target, shining out there in front, waiting for your shot. If you have the courage to drop the baggage, you will discover that you still have plenty of gas in the tank. The exhaustion you felt was not physical. It was the weight of guilt. Without the guilt, you fly. Choose your trophy. Stare at it fixedly and say to the rest, goodbye. You tore up the list. You chose the single trophy. Now you are at the starting line. The moon in Aries injects a massive dose of adrenaline into your system. You feel you need to run. But here lies the danger that knocks down 90% of people in the first week of December. They confuse speed with haste. They seem like the same thing, but energetically they are opposites. Haste is fear in motion. It is the feeling that you are late, that there won't be time, that the world is going to end. When you act in haste, your movements are frantic, your breathing is short, and your mind is in 5 places at once. Haste makes noise. It knocks over cups, sends emails with errors, tramples conversations. Haste is inefficient because it generates rework. You do it fast, you do it poorly, and you have to do it again. Speed is intention in motion. It is calm under pressure. Watch a predator hunting or an elite athlete running the 100 meters. There is no panic in their eyes. There is absolute focus. They do not waste a millimeter of movement. Everything is directed forward. Speed is silent. It is surgical. To apply the compression rule and make the year count in 31 days, you need to murder haste and embody speed. How to do that? The mechanics of Aries is simple. Cut the weight. You cannot be fast if you are carrying unnecessary baggage. Haste happens when you try to carry the baggage while running. Speed happens when you drop the suitcase and run free. This means that for your December trophy to happen, you will have to be brutal with the rest of your life. You will have to say no to 90% of the things that seem normal at this time of year. The world will try to impose haste on you, the commercial Christmas spirit, the mandatory get-togethers, the requests to close the books, the rush to buy gifts. All of this is designed to disperse your energy. If you try to participate in all of this and seek your trophy, you will break. Speed requires tunnel vision. Imagine you are in a dark tunnel, and the only light is the exit, your goal for the 31st. Everything outside the tunnel does not exist. If they invite you to something that doesn't help your trophy, I can't. If an unmissable opportunity appears that diverts your focus, not now, If your mind wants to worry about problems of 2026, cut. This posture may seem selfish, and it is. Aries is the sign of the self. But in this context, selfishness is a survival virtue. You are protecting your mission. No one else will protect your time for you. People will try to eat it piece by piece. Real speed is born from elimination. Want to write the book in 30 days? Eliminate TV and social media. Speed. Want to double your revenue? Eliminate small clients that suck up time. Speed. Want to change your body? Eliminate the decision of what to eat and eat the same healthy thing every day. Speed. The fewer useless decisions you make, the faster you move. The secret of Aries mechanics is short intensity. Do not try to work 18 hours a day. That is haste and leads to burnout. Work 4 hours with an intensity that would scare a normal person. Dive deep. Turn off the phone. Enter a flow state. In 4 hours of real speed, you produce what the hurried crowd produces in 3 days of distraction. In the next 24 hours, you will feel the impulse to get agitated. Your body will want to do 1,000 things. Stop. Breathe. Ask, am I running because I am focused, or am I running because I'm desperate? If it is desperation, stop everything. Sit down. Recalibrate. Return to the single target. If it is focus, accelerate. The physical sensation of speed is coldness. The head is cold, the heart is calm, the hands are steady. The physical sensation of haste is heat. The face burns. The chest tightens, the hand shakes. Seek the cold. Seek precision. You have 31 days. It is plenty of time if you do not waste any movement. It is no time at all if you try to do everything. Be the archer, not the machine gun. The archer is fast because he only needs one movement to hit. Cut the noise, increase the intensity. The race has begun. You eliminated the dead weight. You understood the difference between speed and haste. Now you need a map. Most people fail in December because they look at the month as a single chaotic block. They see the end of the year. When you look at an entire mountain, you freeze. When you look at the steps, you climb. To apply the compression rule, we are going to slice these 31 days into 4 tactical weeks. Each week has an energy, a danger, and a specific mission. This is the final sprint protocol. Week 1, December 1st to 7th. The ignition. This is the most critical week. It is where you break inertia. In physics, we spend more fuel to get the rocket off the ground than to keep it in orbit. The rule of week 1 is massive, imperfect action. Do not try to be elegant. Do not try to plan the details. Just start with brute force. If your target is physical, train every day this week without fail. Shock your body. If your target is financial or professional, make the 50 calls, send the 100 emails, write the 10 pages. You need to generate heat. You need to prove to your nervous system that the old life is over. If you go slow in week 1, the gravity of the sofa will pull you back. Get off the ground. Make noise. Week 2, December 8th to 14th. The traction. The adrenaline of novelty will wear off. Your body will ache. Your mind will say, we've done enough, let's rest a little. The danger of week 2 is early self-sabotage. The rule here is non-negotiable rhythm. You don't need to increase the intensity, but you cannot decrease the frequency. This is where the habit begins to form. You need to show up every day, even without wanting to. This is the week where you separate enthusiasm, which is volatile, from discipline, which is structural. Maintain cruising speed. Do not look at the top of the mountain. Look at your feet. One step, then another. Week 3, December 15th to 21st. The danger zone. This is where 90% of people fall. The world outside will go into festive collapse. The get-togethers, the Christmas shopping, the chaotic traffic, the holiday spirit. The environment will scream for you to stop. The danger of week 3 is social distraction. The rule is total shielding. Remember tunnel vision? This is where you use it. While the world slows down and gets intoxicated, you accelerate. It is the week of competitive advantage. If you maintain focus here, while everyone is distracted, you gain a distance that they will never recover. Don't be the bore who doesn't go to the family party, but be the strategist who leaves the party early to sleep, because he has a mission the next day. Protect your sleep. Protect your focus. Week 4, December 22nd to 31st. The closing. You survived the danger zone. Now you see the finish line. The danger here is already won. Thinking that because you got this far, you can relax in the final meters. The rule is the final kick. In track and field, the kick is the burst of speed in the last 100 meters. You do not slow down at the finish line, you cross the line running. Use the energy of the solstice and Christmas not to stop, but to celebrate your new identity. Finish the project. Make the final delivery. Deliver the checkmate. Do not leave loose ends for January. The 31st should be the day you put on the crown, not the day you try to finish what you started. This protocol transforms time. It takes a month that is usually lost in parties and turns it into a results machine. Look at the calendar. Do not see dates. See battle blocks. Where will you put your energy in week 1? How will you shield yourself in week 3? Have a plan. Improvisation is the enemy of speed. You are not here to pass the month. You are here to compress time. If you follow this rhythm, ignition, traction, shielding, closing, you will arrive on December 31st, unrecognizable. You will look back and see that you did in 31 days what you didn't have the courage to do in 330. The map is in your hand. Week 1 has started. You defined the target. You outlined the weekly plan. But now you will face the most seductive enemy of December, the environment. Starting today, the world around you enters a collective trance. The lights turn on, the music changes, and there is a silent agreement in society that the year is over. Productivity drops. People enter office party mode. The danger here is not the party itself. It is the emotional contagion. If you spend too much time surrounded by people who have already given up on the year, who are just waiting for the holidays, who are complaining about fatigue and eating and drinking to forget, you will be contaminated. Mediocrity is transmitted through the air. You will start hearing phrases like, leave it for next year. It's no use now. Let's relax. These phrases are poison to your single trophy. If you agree with them, even just out of politeness, you turn off your engine. The rule to survive the social danger zone is be a spy. You don't need to become the bore who goes nowhere. You can go to the get-together, you can go to the family dinner, but you go with a different mindset than the majority. They are there to forget the year. You are there keeping the secret of your imminent victory. Participate, smile, make a toast, but keep a part of your brain cold and shielded. Do not drink to the point of losing the next morning. Do not eat to the point of getting heavy and slow. Do not join the collective complaint. Act like an elite athlete on the eve of the Olympics who was forced to attend a social event. He is there, he is polite, but he doesn't touch the alcohol, he watches the clock, and he leaves early. because he knows his medal is more important than their party. Learn the art of the strategic French exit. Show up, make your presence felt, do the necessary socializing, and evaporate. While they are ordering one for the road and entering the unproductive phase of the night, you are going home to sleep because your mission starts early the next day. This discipline will give you a feeling of secret power. While the world slows down, you are gaining speed. The contrast between your intensity and the slowness of the world will be your greatest fuel. Use the party as a reminder of why you are running. Look around. Do you want the results they have? If not, do not copy the habits they have in December. Protect your focus as if your life depended on it. Because the life you want to live in 2026 depends exactly on what you do when no one is looking, while everyone else is distracted by the noise of the fireworks. They celebrate the end. You celebrate the construction. You tore up the list, adopted speed, and shielded yourself against the party. Now the physics of your day begins to change. How do you know if the compression rule is active? How do you know if you have really entered the final sprint frequency or if you are just busy? The universe hands you immediate receipts. The main one is time distortion. You will notice that the clock seems to operate at two different speeds. For the world outside, time is dragging slow in a holiday mood. For you, time has become elastic. You sit down to work on your single trophy, and when you look at the clock, 3 hours have passed that felt like 20 minutes. But when looking at what you produced, it looks like a week of work. This is the flow state. It is the neurological signal that you stopped resisting the task and merged with it. When you are compressing time, resistance disappears. That email that took you 2 days to write because you kept thinking, "Oh, how annoying," now comes out in 3 minutes. The decision that took a week of rumination is made in 10 seconds. You stop thinking about doing and just do. The interval between intention and gesture drops to 0. Another clear sign is the falling of ancient dominoes. Things that had been stuck in your life since March suddenly resolve themselves. Not because you focused on them, but because your speed increased so much that the inertia of old problems can no longer keep up with you. The energy of Aries is one of breakthrough. You will realize that complex problems become simple. I just had to call and solve it. You stop giving emotional importance to the obstacle and run over it like a tank. You will feel a change in your internal temperature. Anxiety, which is cold and paralyzing, is replaced by urgency, which is hot and driving. Anxiety says, "I am afraid there won't be time." Urgency says, "I have no time to lose." They seem the same, but they are opposites. Urgency wakes you up before the alarm. It makes you walk faster on the street. It gives you a focus in your eyes that intimidates those who want to come with small talk. The people around you will notice. They will ask, "What happened to you? Why are you so serious?" It isn't seriousness, it is traction. You have finally bitten into reality. If you feel that your day yielded as much as 3, if you feel a good physical tiredness at the end of the day, the tiredness of someone who built, not someone who worried. And if you feel that 2025 is still alive in your hand, compression is working. You doubled time. Keep accelerating. You cleared the past, defined the target, and drew up the strategy. The mindset is ready. Now we need to turn on the machine. For the compression rule to work, your brain needs to register a physical starting milestone. It needs to understand that normal time has stopped and sprint time has begun. This is the stopwatch ritual. It is not a meditation, it is an act of inauguration. Do this now, or at the exact moment you decide your race begins. First, go to a place where you can see the date or time. It can be the wall clock, the phone screen, or a calendar. Stand before it. The posture is one of command. Spine straight, eyes fixed. You are going to make a symbolic reset gesture. If you are on your phone, open the stopwatch or alarm. Set an alarm for December 31st. Name this alarm the arrival. If you prefer analog, take a piece of paper and a thick pen. Write very big in the center of the sheet, Day 1. Stick this paper on the wall, on the mirror, or leave it on your desk. This paper, or this alarm, is your starting flag. It tells your subconscious, we are no longer living the inertia of November. We are living the urgency of December. Now look at this milestone. Take a deep breath once, filling your chest with the air of opportunity, and give the vocal command. Speak aloud, firmly, without hesitation. My 31 days start now. Feel the click. It is like flipping the hourglass. The sand has started to fall. The moment you say this phrase, procrastination becomes unacceptable. Doubt becomes a luxury you cannot afford. You have entered operation mode. To seal the ritual, make the first movement immediately. Do not wait 5 minutes. Do not go get a coffee. Do one thing that brings you closer to your single trophy. Send the message, open the file, do the squat, anything that breaks the static. Movement generates movement. The stopwatch is running. The past no longer exists. You have a clean track, a running engine, and a clear destination. Accelerate. The starting gun has been fired. The stopwatch is running. Understand one thing about the nature of victory. No one remembers who started well in January. Glory belongs exclusively to those who cross the finish line standing. You have 31 days to rewrite the narrative of 2025. No matter what happened in the last 11 months, if you win December, you win the year. Do not get distracted by those who have already put on their pajamas and accepted defeat. Leave them at the party, complaining about the weather. You have a trophy to chase. The pain of discipline will last only 4 weeks, but the pride of having turned the game around will last forever. Do not slow down. Do not look to the side. Run like someone who knows the gate is closing. To seal your commitment to the final victory and warn the universe that you will not stop until the 31st. Leave your decree registered. Write in the comments, I finish strong. See you at the finish line.